obviously characters, they behave like human beings.
Of course, yeah.
If they can be birds or they can be dogs, they always behave the same. So I wonder, why birds? Why in the end you choose to have birds as main characters?
Well, I'm a bird lover, so I loved birds all the time, and my first movie was with like the Ice Age characters, so and I even put some birds on the second one, but vultures and stuff. But I love birds, and that was a passion of mine. I had this idea in my head of making a movie about birds. I just had that obsession to do it. And when I had a chance, that's when I decided to do it. And it was a big challenge because birds are not fully expressive as characters, like dogs or cats and stuff like that. So I thought it was a good challenge to have.
Do you have a favorite bird, non-existing bird, a bird from movies or from cartoons?
Well, from my early movies, I love the dodos in the Ice Age, the first Ice Age. I thought they were really funny. But from other cartoons, that's the thing. There's not many cartoons with like memorable birds. There's like Daffy Duck and stuff like from Disney, but that I almost.
They're not real birds.
Yeah. It's hard to find like. I like I don't know how you call here, but the Wile E. Coyote and the
Roadrunner.
Roadrunner. It's also one of my favorite
but still,
birds.
It's not a bird.
But it's
it
still
like
fly. Yeah. But again, like at the end of the day, like there's not many, so I felt to me that it would be a nice little clean slate for me to start and to create birds in my story.
You told us that you, in quote, you sold the idea of Rio with an emphasis on music.
Right.
And in the end, now that a movie has gone and it's been a success, do you think that the major part in this success was the story, or was the music, or was this particular way of interacting with Brazil?
I think it was the way that the story was told, and it was told in a very fun and way that people understood. Even though it was something that we took them to a place that is completely unknown for a lot of people, the essence of the story or the motivation of the characters felt very clear to everybody. So there was never a doubt about the character's journey in the story. So therefore, Brazil being the backdrop with its music or its colors or its set, it just became a location. But the truth of the matter that what captured people into the movie was a lot has to do with the story of the journey of the character that they learn to love, and I think that's part of the successes of movies. I think is when a movie comes from character is much stronger than it just comes for the sake of just being there. So I think that's at the end of the day, that's what capture. Of course, there's always the music and the colors, and Rio has a big kind of like impactful visual experience. But that said, that wouldn't be enough if we didn't have strong characters.
If we imagine that you were to do a third one, hypothetically, is there something still that you want to tell about Brazil that you haven't been able to tell in these movies?
Oh, there's definitely many places. A huge country with so diverse culture as well that there's always it's a wealth of inspiration no matter where I go. I have to say that I haven't thought too much about it, because I was channeling all into the second one and pushing that journey to the Amazon. But there's definitely elements there that, could be explored. It all starts with where I want to take them. So when I figure that out, what's the next step of the story, then I will decide which location I will shoot them or I will take them, It's all about the characters, When you make the first movie, of course, the name Rio, it became iconic, became a brand like Madagascar is. But Madagascar doesn't stay in Madagascar, they go everywhere. And so in terms of the brand, the Rio brand is always going to be Rio. But where it takes place is now, once you go to the third or fourth movie, when you go beyond that, it's not as relevant, I would say. So it could be in Brazil, but it could be anywhere else,